Hello and welcome back to the Rooted in Reliability Podcast, broadcasting directly from the leading reliability conference here in sunny Florida. Well, sort of sunny Florida. I am happy to have Trent McJunkin on with me this afternoon. We're going to talk a little bit about his presentation. Trent is with Oshkosh Defense, and he has got what I think is a really good topic to share with us today. He is going to be talking about mentor and mentoring. So, Trent, I'll let you introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
All right, Shon. Thanks for having me on. This has been a great week so far here in Florida. Definitely learned a lot about leadership and how to implement some of these initiatives. As you said, I'm Trent McJunkin. I have been in the automotive industry for about 13 years now. I've had great opportunities to work at various sizes of companies. Currently implementing and building out a maintenance team now and building out some of our reliability initiatives, and it's a great time.
Very cool. You got a unique experience there because you've got a brand new facility. How's that been so far?
Everybody thinks because it's new, everything should be great and, happy and everything's wonderful. That's not necessarily the case with startups. Just because it's all new doesn't mean you don't have problems. So we have no culture, but we have so many cultures coming into one, and we have to really mold that into what we want it to be.
Absolutely. Well, and that really brings up this topic of leadership and specifically mentoring, which I think is one of the things we miss so often. So tell us a little bit. I know you've got your presentation coming up here in about an hour or so. Tell us a little bit about your presentation. What are you going to talk about? Why this topic?
So mentoring is something that has had a great impact on me because I came into the industry and I feel like I didn't know anything. I had this 2-year degree. I feel like I was pretty handy, but the first time I saw a robot was the first day that I was employed at BMW, and I thought they have made a terrible mistake, and I can't let them find out about that. So from then until I was a team leader, then a supervisor, now a manager, I've had the impact of mentors. And I think that's a missing piece that a lot of people don't get and they overlook. It's the soft stuff, but the soft stuff is the hard stuff. And if you really get mentoring right, you're going to be able to reduce that friction along your journey.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. As I think back, it's probably one of the reasons that I have been able to enjoy and spend the time in the reliability field is really the mentors that I had. I got involved early on with SMRP, and in getting involved with that Society of Maintenance and Reliability Professionals, I started meeting folks. So I met Ron Moore, and Ron started helping me understand how to do some of the key aspects of reliability. And Keith Mobley was another one who early on helped me tremendously on things like root cause analysis and FMEAs. And so, had it not been for those folks, I don't know that I would have ever really got off of top dead center, and who knows if I would have even stayed in the reliability field.
I feel the same way.
Well, very good. Well, tell us a little bit about what you're going to deliver today. What does it look like? Are you going to talk about how to be a mentor? Are you going to talk about mentoring in general? What are you hoping to focus on?
So we're going to look at it from both sides, how to find a mentor, how to be a mentor, and what that kind of looks like overall. One thing that we're going to really focus on is what I call the 5M model. It's going to give you a good overview. We look at a lot of models, and sometimes they're a little beyond what I was able to grasp when I was getting into the industry. They're all great, but if they don't have some actionable steps that meet you where they are, where you are, it's going to struggle to implement those. So we've got the 5 M's: motivate, model, mentor, monitor, and multiply. And if you follow those steps, you're going to be able to implement some good change.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think having models is one of the easiest way to make learning more digestible. One of my other mentors told me years ago, he said, all models are wrong. Some are just more useful than others. And that was a big eye-opener for me because, that's good. I know that even if it doesn't fit every situation and it's quote unquote wrong, I can still use it to really understand a lot of the content.
Yeah, just like you've said with best practices, there's not a model, there's not a best practice that's going to be a silver bullet for you. But if it helps you do this one thing better, that's where you're going to get that leverage and you're going to build that momentum, create those quick wins and be able to expand outside of that pilot area.
Very cool, very cool. Well, tell us about one of your mentors. You know, who have you learned from through the years? Did you have somebody at BMW, or talk, and you can name them or not, but just talk a little bit about some of the folks that have helped you on your journey.
So I've had a lot. I think that's because I had a lot to learn. But some of the ones that impacted me the most, one of the managers that I worked for at BMW, he was tough. He had high expectations. And one of the most profound things that he told me was, if you tolerate it, you endorse it. Whether that's good or bad, whatever behavior or whatever actions that you tolerate, that becomes the culture.
Absolutely.
So you have to take those small actions every day. If you let them slide, if you tolerate it, that's going to become what your whole department is, your whole organization is. So what are some structures, what are some systems and processes that you can put into place that turn the tide? And it doesn't have to be the stick all the time. It can be the carrot and the stick.
Right. Absolutely. Both sides of it. Very good. Very good. Well, is there anything else from your presentation that you want to kind of give a little taste to the audience before we move on?
I think the thing here is all these models work together. You have Cotter's model, you have ADCAR, you have the 5Ms. A lot of people haven't seen the 5Ms, so I'm excited to show them that today. You have to start somewhere. You can absorb all this content at a conference. You can listen to podcasts. You can read books. But until you figure out, how do I start, that's just going to collect dust on your bookshelf. It's just going to be lost in your mind somewhere. But figure out how you can start today.
Absolutely. You know, you and I were talking earlier in the week, and a lot of people do struggle finding mentors. They're in a facility where, you know, there's no one else that's exactly in their role. Maybe their manager is a bit of a different role. I think a lot of times about planners. I also think about maintenance engineers and reliability engineers. They may be the only one in the facility. I know that was the way it was early on in my career. Do you have any suggestions for those folks? Where do they find a mentor? How do they find a mentor?
I think a conference like this is a great place to start. Think outside the box. Get creative. A mentor is someone that's enthusiastic about giving you some information. They don't have to be a rah guy, but they have to be passionate about the information they're trying to share. They have to have been where you are, as far as a similar role. They don't even have to be. I'm an automotive guy. My mentor wouldn't have to be in the automotive industry. You know, somebody in the oil and gas industry. They don't have to find a mentor in the oil and gas industry.
Right.
I've learned a lot about facilities management from people who run arenas.
That's a really good point. And, you know, I think you're right. You come to these conferences, especially if you can find a smaller conference where you can really interact with the people that are in attendance. I think being able to start the conversations here probably does enable you to start potentially a mentor type relationship with somebody, even from another facility.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Definitely does.
Cool. Very cool. Well, do you have any final words you want to share with everyone before we go to your presentation?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a great time here. A wonderful conference down here in Clearwater. If you haven't been to the leading reliability conference, I would suggest that you come down and check it out next year. Thanks so much. Have a great day.